Everybody, this is Roughdawg 4 from PS3 Imports, and today we're going to be doing a review on Thy Sword. This is another game in Radalaika. At the time of the review, I don't believe, I'm not sure if there's an Asian release coming out or not, but there is 4 stacks. So it's just USA, Europe, Vita, and PS4. Side note on the time of this release of this video too, I know there is some issues with the EU version of the Vita where trophies are not seemingly popping correctly. So if, just make sure to wait a little bit and for the patch to be released and that piece gets all fixed out. So this game is, and I thought it was a pretty cool game. It's a mini platforming game, 2D. Basically, you're going around as a guy or a girl. You can pick whichever one that you want, and you're going around killing the enemies and advancing 4 or 5 levels, killing some bosses. There is some difficulty levels, but if you play in the easiest setting, you can retry as many times as you want. You can pick whoever you want. Personally, I chose the Barbarian. I liked having, I think he has like a little bit more health. And the only advantage the person has for the woman with the bow, but you can buy it anyway with the adventurer too, so it's not a big deal. So you can go through the tutorial too, and there is a trophy with it, so I do recommend playing it too as well. It does introduce the different elements of the game, and basically it's pretty cool. Like you go around, and so each level has 5 levels that you need to clear, and there's some basic attacks, like you can do an R1, and then you can do a spinning attack, a square, which does more damage. So you definitely have to, like you can see, you have to guess out where it's going to land, but it's worth it when you do. And then basically that's all you're going to do is go around and start collecting gold from some of these items and enemies and hack and kill stuff. Let's see, going around killing the enemies. So the other cool thing too I realized is that if you want to be safe, you could attack them from underneath like that, and it was a really safe way to beat the enemies. Basically, just about any game you could do, any enemy, is that you could jump from underneath and hit them. Even if it takes one less hit, they'll drop down, but then you could hit them as they're dropping down too like that, and there's really nothing in this game that should give you any difficulties. Some of the bosses can be slightly difficult, but honestly, as long as you figure out the patterns, you'll be fine. There's really nothing on here that's going to be here. So you'll see barrels like this too that you see smoking. Just keep an eye on that because they will explode and it will take damage. So you got to make sure and be careful of that. And as you can see, we're already making it through for some of the levels, right? Like, they introduce a few more enemies, as you can see. Now, here's the interesting one right here is the crow. And it has the key to the treasure chest, and, oh, I just got it in time. So, basically, it'll give you a great chance of getting some extra gold in the game. So, highly recommend that you should definitely try to take advantage of that every time you get, especially in the beginning, because it really kind of helps boost your gold count. So there is once you finish the 5 levels, you go to like this caravan where you can do a few things, and you could certainly boost your gold in the with this card game. And early on, you don't really have a lot of gold, so you don't get as much. But if you have the opportunity to get a few chests like that, it'll really help you boost up your totals. So this person dropped a health potion, so we didn't really need it though. We seem to be doing fine. Also, too, as a side note, your health does not carry over. You do not get like full health on the next one. So basically, what I do sometimes is that if you start the new stage and you realize you're low on health, that you want to go ahead and just die just to get full health. But you have to make it through these 5 levels. At any point, if you do die, you have to start at the beginning of the first of the 5 levels. So you definitely want to make sure to be a little careful. The only exception is that if you're on a boss, if you die on a boss, you will start back with the boss fight. So that is the good news. You don't have to worry about failing those ones. And as you can see, we're pretty much through this last stage right here. We're doing fine. I can figure out how to make this stupid jump. There we go. As I said, I mean, I thought this was a game that I really enjoyed. I had a ton of fun with this. As you can see with the enemies, there's a block button, but I always go with the strategy to swing wildly, and I don't really have a problem. So when you reach this caravan section, this is where the game gets really interesting. Is that you could certainly manipulate your gold, and you can ensure you get it. So basically, you could play this game, which is all it is just blackjack, and you could bet certain levels. But what you could do right here is if you hit the save and quit button, it'll save your progress, and then you could basically play this game. And if you win, great, and then you could save and quit again and double your gold. And if you lose, then you could quit. You can close your application, reboot it up, and you could just try again. You can only do it twice, so that's the only part that kind of stinks. But you know what I mean? Like, so I'll be able to theoretically get up to 300 gold. The other good thing too is that when you save and quit, these two people right here sell items. You can only carry a certain amount, so it's certainly up to you on what you decide that you want to get for upgrades. There's definitely a few that I recommend. This one is a very underrated one. I didn't try this out until like one of the later ones, this Potion of Regeneration. Basically what it is as soon as you hit 0, you you get full health again. So if you really think about it, like especially if you know you're going into the final boss, if you buy one of these potions, you're really doubling your health bar as long as you can make it there with it. So it's one of those ones I highly recommend to get. There's another cool one too, which isn't on here. But you can learn how to double jump with your boots. You could increase your light when there's dark. You could do, and this is where you can also, right here, as you can see, you could buy a bow, so you'd be able to do some of the, you could attack with a bow. It really is like so many options you could do. And as a side note too, if you save and quit and you reload the game, these people will have completely different items, so you don't actually have to finish a level. So if you have the money and maybe you don't see something you like, you can hit save and quit and then see if you could find something else. Like there's a sword that does more damage. There's really a bunch of cool stuff with the game that I really enjoy. So basically you'll get all the trophies, or you should get most of them, as long as you make your way through the game. There is one highly missable trophy that's in like a lab, and basically on the very last level there's somewhere where you could fall under the bottom of the map on the 5th stage of 5, and that leads you to a secret vault with a bunch of coins in it. But if you miss it, it's not a big deal. It'll probably take you like 15 minutes to get to it if you do. So anyway, everybody, I really hope you enjoy this game. This is definitely another fun one from Roguelike. Please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day, everybody.